Hi, welcome to KXAM Plus. I'm your host, Esmeralda Zamora. The city of Austin is known for its music around the world, but before the big festivals and the stages, there was the blues, a sound that helped shape this city. Today, we're taking you inside that story with the people keeping that legacy alive. We start at a place that has been the heart of it for 50 years, Antone's, and with me to learn all about it is Will Bridges. Will, thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks Esmeralda. Thanks for being here and thanks for coming to Antone's.
So tell me, what is Antone's?
Antone's is a music venue. It's been around for 50 years in Austin. We just had our 50th anniversary last year. It's historically known as a blues club, but we host all different types of music. And yeah, it's one of the now oldest running venues in Austin and kind of the heartbeat of our blues scene, and as our moniker goes, it's Austin's home of the blues.
I've been hearing a lot about Austin being the home of the blues. Tell me why.
Well, it really all has to do with a guy named Clifford Antone, who started the club back in July of 1975. In the 70s, blues was not cool at the time per se. It was kind of the disco era happening, and so a lot of the blues players, who had bigger careers, touring careers, their careers were perhaps starting to plateau, starting to wane a little bit, and the blues was kind of counterculture, or picked up as a counterculture by a younger set of musicians. There just so happened to be some aspiring blues players here in Texas, people like Jimmy and Stevie Vaughan and Dallas and Mike Buck, Luann Barton in Fort Worth, as well as a bunch of other cast members. And they didn't really have a home in Austin as they migrated to Austin because of the music scene that was happening here with the Cosmic Cowboy era and Willie Nelson and things that were going on at other venues like Armadillo World Headquarters. But there wasn't really a place that made the blues feel at home. There wasn't a venue dedicated to that budding blues scene. And Clifford, who was very passionate about the blues and kind of the blues family of genres, took it upon himself to create that home, and that was Antone's.
So for any of our viewers that don't know what blues are, or have never heard of them, how would you describe them?
Well, it's a great question. The blues is a type of music. It's a genre, but really what it is a structure to music. You hear people talk about 12-bar blues, for example, and if you remember music class, music is in these bars, and it can be in 3/4 or 4/4, different kind of time measures. But anyway, 12-bar blues and the blues is primarily and first and foremost a structure of music, and it's really simple. Blues is incredibly simple, and that's kind of the beauty of it, is it leaves lots of room for expression, and it's also the root genre for most of the prominent American genres. So rock and roll, jazz, gospel, R&B, hip hop, rap, all of these, country, all of these forms, all of these which have different structures as well, can be traced back to blues as kind of the central origin. So I like to say it's kind of the root genre, or even root language for lots of music, especially lots of the genres that we celebrate here in United States and in the West.
And are you a blues fan?
I am a blues fan. Grew up a blues fan, born and raised in Austin, and my dad, who's also born and raised in Austin, is a blues fan and actually plays blues guitar and harmonica on the side. So I grew up hearing that music in the house, and my dad took me to the 29th and Guadalupe location of Antone's first time probably when I was about 9 or 10 years old, and so I got an early introduction into what it was all about here in Austin.
An early love for blues.
That's right.
Well, Antone's, the home of the blues here in Austin, is part of the Austin Blues Festival. Tell me how that partnership is.
Yes, so Clifford Antone actually started Antone's Blues Festival in 1999, in 2000, and they had names like Buddy Guy, Susan Tedeschi. We took over the club at the end of 2015. So after we got a few years under our belt, it sort of became a goal of ours, a dream of ours really, to take the magic of Antone's outside of the four walls and pay homage to the blues festival that Clifford had started. And it just so happened that at Waterloo Park, the same location as Antone's Blues Festival, there was now this amazing new music venue, thanks to Waterloo Greenway Conservancy, called Moody Amphitheater. So that wasn't there, in Clifford's era, and so they had to kind of do everything with pop-up temporary infrastructure. So this was kind of shortly after Waterloo Greenway Conservancy had opened the amphitheater, and we reached out to them. We were introduced through some friends in the industry and said, hey, we've got this idea to bring back Antone's Blues Festival. How does this work? It was such a new venue. We weren't sure if independent promoters were allowed to do things there. I think everybody was still figuring it out. It was such a big deal to have this amazing scalable outdoor amphitheater right in our core downtown. And we were welcomed with open arms, and we were not even pitching or looking for them to be our partner in it, but they loved the idea so much they said, not only do we want to do this with y'all, let's become partners. And it grew to what we now call Austin Blues Festival, just to make it even more kind of universally welcoming and appealing to audiences from Austin and even outside of Austin. We just felt like, as blues lovers and as kind of cultural torch carriers for the blues here in Austin, that Austin should have a festival, an Austin Blues Festival.
Yeah, I like how you said that you all are cultural torch holders for Austin blues history here in Austin, Texas. How does the Antone's team work to preserve that history when it comes to events like this?
So preserving the blues is a big part of our mission here at Antone's, and it was a big part of Clifford's mission all the way back when he started the club in 1975. Like I said, at that time there were people playing the blues, young artists were learning the blues, aspiring to play the blues, and he also they had access at that time to some of the biggest blues legends and progenitors that had ever been had ever existed. But the thing about the blues is it's not a real formal genre. It's people playing the blues are typically not reading sheet music. It's kind of a spoken history, and so what we learned from Clifford is that the best way to preserve the blues is to actuate it, to do it, to play it, and to play it in front of an audience that those memories, those sounds, those traditions just get kind of carried on, in real life. So one of Clifford's missions was presenting the artists, especially artists in the older stages of their career, presenting them while he still could and celebrating their contributions to the art form and to the genre, and putting them in front of younger audiences who then, because they've absorbed that knowledge, they've absorbed that verbal, audible history, they're able to pass it down. So that's what we still do today, and it's really cool that you come to a show at Antone's, especially one of our blues shows, one of our traditional blues shows, because we have an eclectic buffet of programming. It's not just blues. We have a little bit of everything at Antone's, but like I said, blues is such a root to all that you could also argue that it's kind of all an extension of the blues in a way. But the shows that we do that are kind of, we call them the Clifford approved shows, or the ones where we can feel Clifford in the room with us looking down. The What Would Clifford Do shows are specifically meant to celebrate and actuate and present that art form, because that is how we preserve it. That's how we pass it down. And garnering an audience that spans generations, people from all walks of life and all different age groups, being able to garner that audience to participate and witness that, it's a really cool thing, and we're really proud that we're able to do that.
Well, I'm excited to see what this year's event is going to look like. For our viewers who maybe didn't go to the event in years past, what can they expect when they attend Austin Blues Festival this year?
So we've got an amazing lineup this year. This is the 4th year of Austin Blues Festival at Moody Amphitheater at Waterloo Park. And Blues Festival, of course, is all about the music, but it's more than that. You know, music is what connects us in Austin. And so Blues Fest is a celebration of community, people, this amazing park system, you know, in our urban core that Waterloo Greenway Conservancy is restored and still restoring. Weather, our cityscape, views of the Capitol. So the music is just kind of the music is just the soundtrack to it. We like to say that Austin Blues Festival is for music lovers, by music lovers. Nothing against the festivals where there's 7 stages and 7 things going on, and it's kind of sometimes makes my head explode a little bit because you can't do everything at the same time, or you can't see every act or song that you want to. We being club promoters, we're used to the kind of cadence of a band performs, and then there's they play a nice long set, there's a little break, a little changeover, opportunity to go get a drink, get some food, use the restroom, talk to your friends, and then another band starts and you get to engage in the music again. And so it's a 1-stage, 2-day festival, and it's a real good time is one of our catchphrases, because I think that's the biggest thing people walk away with is the music's great, the people's great, the park is great, and we just hope for folks to have a real good time. And it's really an Austin tradition to experience all of those things. Music's a big component, but it's all of those things that I mentioned that you're experiencing. It pays homage and kind of evokes the days of Austin Aquafest and the original Blues on the Green, the early days of Austin City Limits Festival, things like that. So folks, the feedback we get is that they kind of like the old school vibe and kind of the simplicity of it.
I spoke with Dr. Colette, and she told me that her favorite part about this festival is the location and the atmosphere that it's in. It brings everyone together, and you feel the love when you're hearing the music. Would you say that that's what people can expect as well? Absolutely.
And she's, of course, very proud of her organization and that beautiful park that they maintain and that beautiful amphitheater. When we poll people who have come to the festival about what their favorite things are, it's not that surprising, I suppose, but it's also nice to validate exactly what we're trying to do, which is they say the music, the lineup, and the park, and those things are pretty much neck and neck for the 2 favorite things of the fest.
Perfect. Well, what are the event details? What should we all know?
So this year it's on April 25th and April 26th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. Things kick off around noon, and music goes all the way till 11 o'clock, 10:30 on Sunday. We've got an amazing lineup this year. Parliament Funkadelic with George Clinton, Jimmy Vaughn's, of course, playing. This will be his 4th year to play the fest, and he's going to have some special guests that we still haven't announced yet, so be on the lookout for that. Bad Not Good, Eric Johnson, Adrian Quesada will be playing the festival for the 2nd time with one of his new projects. Larkin Poe, Annie and the Caldwells, Warren Treaty, Chaparral, the list goes on and on. We're also proud to be hosting the Houston Tillotson Jazz Orchestra. Dr. Burnett used to be president of Houston Tillotson and actually helped start that program, the President's Jazz Band. So we're proud to have them, and that's a nod to Dr. Burnett's involvement and partnership with the festival. So yeah, check out all the details at austinbluesfest.com. Tickets are still available. VIP tickets are sold out, and we are doing a small price increase soon to try to incentivize people to hurry and get their tickets. But I think this is going to be the best year yet. Always fingers crossed for good weather, but it's like I said, it's hard to go wrong. Got a great park in this amazing area of our downtown, just celebrating Austin history and being a part of music history.
And there's a special event happening during South by, right?
That's right. Wednesday, March 18th, right here at Antone's, we're having our official Austin Blues Festival day party. It's open to the public. There's probably some RSVP mechanism or something like that because it's South by and things are going to be crazy downtown. So check out our website at antones.com or our social media accounts for more details. But that's a really amazing event. In fact, Rolling Stone last year ranked it in its top 10 events for all of South by 2025 last year. So we're going for a repeat there, trying to make it one of the top events of South by Southwest.
Trying to break records, right?
That's right. Keep the tradition going.
To understand how the Austin Blues Festival is helping shape the city's future, we have Dr. Colette Pierce Burnett with us and with Waterloo Greenway. Dr. Colette, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you. Before we get into the conversation, talk to me a little bit about what Waterloo Greenway is.
So Waterloo Greenway Conservancy is a partnership with the City of Austin. It's a public park. I like to think of it, I hear people call it a green zipper through the eastern side of downtown, but it's really, in my mind, a green ribbon connecting eventually Lady Bird Lake all the way up to where Waller Creek goes into UT.
Oh, wow.
And it's the 35 acres of park space, public park space along Waller Creek, restored Waller Creek. It's absolutely beautiful.
I'm excited to go out and check it out for myself. Can you tell me how Waterloo Greenway is partnering with the Austin Blues Festival?
Of course, there's an African proverb that I absolutely love. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And the mission of Antone's and the mission of Waterloo Greenway are very parallel, very similar. And that's to bring people together in a very united way, and what better way to do that is with music. So our partnership with Antone's helps us to go farther together, and I really like that we're a partner in this because we bring the venue, the vibrancy, Antone's brings the reputation. So it's like this, and the venue is only 5 years old, so you have this intersection of a long-standing iconic institution, Antone's, in Austin life, and then you have this new standing, what we are striving to build, another iconic institution. So the merging together is just a beautiful experience, and what better way to do it than blues with music.
And we're here at Antone's right now.
Yes.
It's a beautiful building,
yes,
full of rich culture
yes,
and history. I've been hearing a lot that blues has shaped Austin's history. Can you tell me why?
Well, I'm a child of the 60s, and I have this vivid memory of my father playing Shirley Scott on the Hammond organ, B.B. King, etc. And it was like a soundtrack to life. And the blues is music that really gets to the soul. That whole rhythm and bluesy moment that you have. And Waller Creek also has history with Austin. I mean, it was a vibrant space where people were living, but it was in a flood zone. So Waterloo Park, which is at that site and used to be the home of many festivals, to include blues festivals, it's once again that collision of that history. And so blues music brings people together. Music has a way of letting us relax, letting us press pause for a little bit and kind of just dance and feel vibrant. And it's one of those moments that people can really come together as community.
Why do you think it makes sense to have a festival like this in a public park?
Because it's for the public and it gives public access. And we want people to come to Waterloo Park. One of the advantages for us is bringing people to the Blues Festival, and then they'll get to see the beauty of the park. Because when it's not operating as a venue, the park itself, you'll see people eating lunch, on break from work. You'll see children playing. You'll see people just walking around, pressing pause for a bit. So we want you to come back to the park. Just like Antone's is very different now in the day than it is when I come to events in the evening. Waterloo Park is the same thing, it's transformational. So we want it to be a public space where people can enjoy it all the time for lots of different reasons.
Can you share a sneak peek of how that park is going to be transformed for this specific event?
It's going to be wrapped in music and magic. And when you bring people together that are really there to have a really good time, you'll build a lot of joy moments. There's going to be a lot happening, a lot of memories being made, a lot of unity of family. You have all kind of demographics of people together in one place. And I like to say that Waterloo Greenway is a part of building what Dr. King called a beloved community. And festivals are the central focus of civic life, build that beloved community all together.
Wow. What can our viewers expect when they go to attend this event?
So it's a plethora of types of blues music, from the Parliament Funkadelics, which is from my era, and I'm super excited about the Houston-Tillotson University Jazz Orchestra. I used to be president of Houston-Tillotson, and that band was, just one of my heartbeats. So to see them perform on a live stage in the venue with some of these great acts that we have at the Austin Blues Festival, it's like a dream come true for me. And so that makes it even a more special moment for me. So I'm super excited about that, in addition to the other large-scale acts that we have. And there's really something for everyone. And that's what's really like the genre itself. Everybody gets the blues. And if you're bluesy and you're lonely and you come out to a festival like that, or even if you're like, out of control and your life is just spinning, you come to a festival like that, you leave really with your love tank filled up. And that's the purpose of a festival.
And what a great place to ground yourself in nature.
Put your feet in the grass if you want to.
Yeah, in a public park.
Exactly.
Exciting.
Exactly. I'm very excited, obviously. And I want my enthusiasm to be contagious, so we can see just it filled to, my mother used to say filled to the gills.
Yeah, well, you're making me excited about it, so that's saying something.
Good.
So let's talk a little bit about you. How have you been connected with Waterloo Greenway, and when was that first initial merge between you and the...
So I sat on the board of Waterloo Greenway when I served as president of Houston-Tillotson University, and just really got attached to the mission. The mission is to restore Waller Creek to be a resilient civic community, vibrant space, with the vision that it will become an iconic place where people don't come to, they don't go through it, they come and experience it. So when the position of the CEO became available and I was asked to apply, I was super excited about it, because my personal passion gets to intersect with my professional passion, which is really enriching people's lives. And to do that with nature, public art, in a public space, it's just such a vehicle. And we're opening the Confluence on June the 6th, and that's from Lady Bird Lake to 4th Street, and you won't even know that you're downtown Austin, because it's the native country, the native nature, plants, trees, civic life, wildlife, and you don't even know that you're in downtown. You could step off of an urban street into an urban space. So that's that my personal passion and my professional passions have intersected.
And you joined...
Once again.
You joined Waterloo Greenway during a time of lots of growth and expansion. What excited you most about that?
So the opening of the Confluence on June 6th to the public is, I get to, be at the helm of the Conservancy under the guidance of our board and the partnership with the city. So I joined it at the perfect time. And when I first took a tour of the Confluence, it really convinced me that to be a leader of an organization of such a passionate group of people that care deeply about increasing people's quality of life through urban parks, that is, that's kind of like a dream come true.
So tell me about the event. What are all the details everyone needs to know?
So the event is on April the 25th and 26th. And you can get your tickets. You can get your tickets either through Antone's website or through following Waterloo Greenway. And I will say that we encourage people to come the 2 days if you can, so that you can experience the maximum, experience all of the talent that's there. And the details are that we're going to have great weather. It's going to be a beautiful day. And like I said earlier, you're going to leave totally fulfilled with your love tank filled up.
Dr. Colette, is there anything that you want to leave our viewers with before we wrap things up?
This is going to become an iconic event in the life of history of Austin, in the fabric of Austin. We have so many iconic events that we look forward to every year, and this is becoming one of those iconic events. And who wants to miss out on an iconic event? That is a really good time.
That's right. Who wants to miss out on an iconic event, especially this one?
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining me,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Colette.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Austin's skyline may rise and the city may change, but the heartbeat of the blues remains. If you're interested in reading more on the Austin Blues Festival, visit our website, kxan.com. Thanks for joining us here on KXAN Plus, and we'll see you soon.